Welcome to this tutorial where I am going to show you how to actually write the bubble sort program. I have already created the template. Now I'm defining the array. This is an array of integer. I call it array of numbers, and I initialize the array with certain values, and these numbers are not in any order, they are in random. As you can see, the lowest number is 2, which is somewhere in the middle. The highest number is 12, again it is in the middle. So it is not a sorted array, it is unsorted array. I define one temporary integer value where I will store only the temporary number for swapping purpose only, for exchange purpose. Now this is the outer for loop. For outer for loop I define the index to be I. I start the outer for loop with 0 till the penultimate, that means whatever is the length of array minus 1. So I equal to 0, I less than array length of the array minus 1, and increment at a step of by 1 at a time. And in the inner for loop, this is the inner for loop, I start from the next number, whatever is the value of I. That means the outer loop starts with 0 number, 0th element, the inner loop start with the first element. When outer loop start with the first element, inner loop will start from the second element. So inner loop is for integer j equal to I plus 1, so it will start from one element next to the outer loop, and j less than number of elements in the array, and increment by 1, which you must have understood by when I explained the flowchart. Now I will see whether the second element is smaller than the first element. That means the first element is bigger than the second element. That means ith element is larger than the jth element. That means if the ith element is bigger than jth element, that means the smaller number is not at the first, then I will swap the elements. So what I will do, I will bring the smallest element into a temporary variable called temp, otherwise this number will be lost. Then in the jth element I will bring the ith element, because ith element is bigger, and the ith element now will have the smallest one. So array of numbers, in the position of I will bring the smallest number, which I have kept stored into a variable called temp. That is the only reason why I defined this variable called temp. So first so this is how this will be done. So there are two for loops, one is outer, one is inner. So for every element of outer for loop, this inner for loop will be executed one complete round. If you look into the flowchart, you will understand it once again. Now what I will do is, you can pause the video here and you can notice it very carefully, read it very carefully. Now what I will do, now the array is sorted. What I will do now, I will print the array, just to show that this array is actually sorted. So I define an integer I. This I is different from the I defined earlier, until the last element of the array, and print one element at a time, and I keep some space so that it looks nice. Now let me execute it, and you see that it is actually sorted. Now if you see, the whole crux of this program is in this. This is the outer for loop. For each element of the outer for loop, I execute the inner for loop for all the elements, and if it has to be exchanged, I exchange it, swap the elements. This is the entire logic of the program within two for loops. Now let me run this program, adding few more numbers. I'll add one or two negative numbers also. And run the program again, and you see that it is actually sorting correctly. I'll see you in the next tutorial.